Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Paula. I am the Business Development Manager here at Baicells. Today we're going to be going over the continuation of the second half progress on our vision. Today our presenters are going to be Gerry Ford, the CEO of North America. We have Tony Eigen, who is the VP of Global Marketing. And unfortunately, Jesse Raasch wasn't able to make it today, so we do have Eric Randall, our Channel Manager, subbing in. The agenda for today: we shall be talking about the new Baicells and the continuation progress, the focus on our second half of 2024, our product roadmap and highlights, upcoming events and activities. We're going to be going over a summary, and at the very end, we'll have an open Q&A. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat, and we will go ahead and answer them. Alrighty, with that being said, we'll hand it over to Gerry so he can get started.
To make sure that we're actually a good partner for customers and a good partner for those integrators, those core integration companies. So Paul, you can go to the next slide. So here's where we're really focused on continuing to support our partner programs. We're excited to be in the process. We've signed on to be have ScanSource as a distributor of our product. We're just starting that onboarding process. We're beginning the training, beginning our product uploads into their systems, and we think that'll be a lot of our activity as we go into Q3 and Q4. The engagement between our distributors and our resellers, it's our objective to have all of our distributors running product very quickly through there and getting them the right number of products and being able to support the projects that are coming. So I think we've done a good job of actually making our inventories more efficient and making them more better structured to be able to support the market. And I think you'll see us continue to do that as we go into Q3 and Q4. In the process, we actually are developing sales and technical certification training for all of our partners. I think often you hear people say, certification's a bad word. I don't want to go through certification. We want to make ours interesting and worth the effort, and you come out of it feeling a lot better about the process, and you feel very good about the knowledge you've gained. So that's our objective, to make it valuable to you, and therefore that in turn is valuable to us and to our customers. We talked a good bit about providing the more content, case studies, and use cases. You'll see that as we go through the rest of the year. It is a concentrated effort we're doing, not only just for North America, but globally. You'll see us improve that. I mentioned the bringing on 50 more partners. Most of their objective is to try to get these partners up and going this year. We believe 2025 is going to be a very strong year, especially in the private LTE world and the 5G cellular networks. Is going to be a growth year next year. I think there's still a lot of people interested in those products, and that's really going to see a large number of deployments next year. So we're trying to get our partners up to speed and ready to support that growth. And in the partner portal, we're excited about that. I think from a partner point of view, a reseller point of view, an integrator point of view, it's really key to how we can best support a large number of partners. And I think you'll see that as we go through the rest of the year. And then continue to grow and foster the 5G LTE ecosystem. Eric's going to go through our products in a few minutes. I think you'll see that we're doing that. We're giving the enhancements that needed to on the 4G world, and then bringing out the new 5G for customers interested in expanding into that ecosystem. So go to the next slide. I mentioned our verticals. 2024, we're focused on these 4 areas. We have a corporate world, which is our OEMs, our tier 1 providers, and our MSOs. We have one of our senior reps, Minchell, who's had a long history with Baicells, is really focused on that. Service providers, Hannah Parker is doing that for us. That includes tribal, that includes small telcos and utilities, as well as the traditional WISP who we've had strong relationships with. Education, we just had the opportunity for Kate Sujanik to join us, and she'll be working and focused on growing our education and our both higher education and the state and local education and market. So she's really going after it gung-ho, and I think you'll see a lot of activity as we move into the rest of the year. And then private LTE as our enterprise, Bob Stone works for us and is a big part of what we're doing in the enterprise world. And I think our focus areas primarily are enterprise, manufacturing, agriculture, and warehouse. We think those are the large opportunities within the middle market. That doesn't mean we can't help a mining company or we can't help a medical company. Absolutely, we can. But from our focus areas, these are really the areas where we're spending most of our effort and time. Go to the next slide. Well, this is where we're really continued effort to redefine Baicells. I think we've done a nice job of putting some stability around what we're doing, putting some clear direction, and the results are beginning to show it both from a company perspective and a partner perspective. So we're excited about where we're going. I think you'll enjoy seeing what Eric talks about from a product point of view. Ultimately, we're a manufacturer of products, and that's what's exciting about our business. So I'll turn it over to Eric to address the product stuff. Anytime during the webinar, feel free to enter a question and we'll answer them either in the middle of it or toward the end at the open Q&A.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Gerry. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I'm Eric Randall, everybody, the channel manager here at Baicells. Sorry, Jesse couldn't make it today, but I'll run through all of this. And like Gerry said, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask them. So we're continuing to do our motto of connecting more with less. That's what we do. So in the 4G world, we are continuing to update our products. We've added E911 support across the board. We've added direct functionality on some of our larger eNode Bs, so that remote electronic tilt. Cell scan support on some of the devices that did not have it before. And something big for anybody not doing fixed wireless is the handover improvements. That's a huge thing when you want to go from one eNode B to another eNode B. On the 5G side, we've delivered our indoor and outdoor radio. So we have the Aurora 243, the Stellar 227 available, outdoor and indoor, and they are available in band 41 and band 48. And we also have some N79, so N79 devices, eNode Bs out there. We did the delivery of indoor and outdoor CPEs for standalone and non-standalone deployments. So you could get our Photon CPEs today, and you could use them on your current 4G deployment. And then when 5G is available, they can be upgraded to 5G. Not really upgraded, but they handle 5G as well. The other major introduction we did was actually a millimeter wave. So your band N257, 258, and 261, we have a millimeter wave radio supporting that band. So that's going to be your license in North America, frequency 26 to 28 gigahertz. So if you guys have a license for those bands, that's something you want to reach out to us and discuss with us. On the roadmap, we're going to look at the 5G radio with Wi-Fi capabilities. This gives the ultimate flexibility to anybody deploying us. You can have your Wi-Fi close by, and then long distances you can have your LTE. Another great thing to look forward to toward the end of the year is going to be the FSM200 chip inside our 5G radios. This is going to allow us to do carrier aggregation now. So you'll see here on the roadmap in just a second, we have the Aurora 452 and 454. They do 4x4 MIMO, but they'll also be able to do carrier aggregation, getting you up to, maxing out 196 megahertz in band 41 and doing 2 carriers in band 48 or N48, sorry. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So here's our roadmap. And the way you want to look at this is on the left side, we have our total power out. So the farther up the page it is, like from bottom to top, it's going to be the higher power device. And on the bottom there, going from left to right, you're going to have the total amount of users. So if you see it higher up, more power, all the way to the right, more capacity, more users. So indoor, we could talk about a few different devices real quick. Our indoor for North America, we see Neutrino 430 for LTE, and our indoor for 5G is that Stellar 227. It's an N41 and N48. With our N48 devices right now, in North America, you can have N48 on CBRS. N78 is more of a global thing, but if you wanted to test 100 megahertz, especially the Aurora 243, you would have to convert it to N78 today. That is available. That is something you could do working with us, and that is only for lab environments. So that is something to think about. They are our two indoor units that we have for both 4G and 5G. Next, we'll just discuss that millimeter wave again. It's the one in the yellowish box toward the upper right-hand corner. It's called the Aurora 6449. It does the 3 bands that I mentioned a minute ago, and that is something you want to get a hold of us to check how we can start testing that with you. So going left to right, I'll be really quick with this. We have the Nova 227 and 230i. They are 2-port devices, both with integrated antennas. Great for very, very small local deployments, garages, parking lots, stuff like that is what these two are great for. When we move across, you'll see in the middle there, we have the 436 to 442. They are absolutely, the 436 is kind of our pillar. It's been around for several years, and we continue to make improvements on it. The 442i is one of our newer devices with a 360-degree integrated antenna. So that's an excellent one to put locally somewhere, have 10, 15, 20 users connected to it in a 2 to 3 mile radius. You're good to put that up. Now the two right below that, we have the 430 and the 430i, and then we have the 430t. So these are all 4-porters that can do carrier aggregation like the 436. And these are small. Like these are probably no bigger than 8 inches wide, 12 inches tall. Doesn't weigh a lot at all. And they support band 48. That Nova 430T though, that's the one that does the LTE and Wi-Fi out of the same unit. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know as well, and we can look at that. Moving up, we have the Nova 846, band 41 or band 48, 8 ports, does carrier aggregation and 4x4 MIMO. And then we have that Nova 452 and band 41 that is also 4x4 and carrier aggregation, but with that, 160 watts of power out. That's our 4G lineup for outdoor. Our outdoor 5G lineup, currently today, we have the Aurora 243 and 249 available. The 243 is FCC certified and Part 96 for band 48. The 249 is for N41. And then when we move up, that's when we're going to talk about that FSM 200 chip I was discussing earlier. That's where you have the Aurora 452. Does carrier aggregation and 4x4 MIMO. So you could really look at seeing a huge amount of throughput through that 452. And for the education, for tribal, the 454 is going to be the breadwinner next year. A ton of power, 4x60 watts. 4x4, 2 carrier aggregation. So this is definitely a beast coming up soon. That's the product lineup that we see currently and in the next, I would say, 6 to 9 months. All right, go ahead to the next one. Okay, and with that, I'll turn this over to Tony Eigen, the VP of Global Marketing.
Okay, Paula, you can advance. Thanks, Eric. So this is Tony Eigen. I lead the marketing efforts here at Baicells. And again, in terms of upcoming activities and events where you can find Baicells, this is where we'll be exhibiting at kind of in the next 60 to 90 days. This is very much aligning with a lot of the priorities and the verticals that Gerry had highlighted or outlined earlier. So you'll see us exhibiting at TribalNet upcoming in mid-September in Las Vegas. We're at the OnGo Alliance members meeting in mid-September as well, and we'll be presenting some interesting use cases that we're doing with some of the partners again, that were highlighted earlier by Gerry. And these would be partners more on the core side. Again, some really interesting use cases kind of coming out of the private LTE space as more and more CBRS use cases are being put out there in the commercial world. Early October comes, we'll be at MWC Americas. We'll have a sizable booth there, and some of the newer 5G products that Eric just highlighted, you can see there in person. So we'll certainly encourage you, if you're attending MWC, to kind of swing by and have a up close look. And then again, you know, we've long been an established leader in the wireless ISP space. So again, we'll be exhibiting at WISPAPalooza come mid-October in Las Vegas. So a lot of activities happening in Las Vegas for industry events where you'll find us. And again, we're always kind of on the lookout, working with our partners and elsewhere for other events that are relevant to the verticals that we participate in. And again, you know, we will be featured speaking at other events outside of these as well. And we'll kind of keep you posted on that in additional webinars after this. So maybe go to the next. And then again, I think this was touched upon earlier in the presentation. Again, just kind of wanting to be out there, pushing the brand, raising awareness, talking about some of the great stuff we're doing, both on the product side and with customers and projects. So again, we're trying to really educate our partners in the market on the fundamentals of how these private networks, how these technologies can ultimately be put to use to solve real world problems, kind of make life easier and bring new opportunities. So we're going to hit a variety of topics over the second half of the year. So basically, what comes next is just with Kate kind of coming on to go after the education and the SLED market. So again, really understanding how these networks, these technologies, these services are really aligned to solving real world problems in the education space, transitioning then over to the wireless ISP, right? They've been doing fixed wireless for a while now, but always kind of on the lookout for new opportunities to kind of generate new revenue streams, right? So private LTE with CBRS, right, can really be an opportunity for that, especially as more and more end devices come online being natively supported of CBRS. We're seeing more and more use cases and commercial deployments out there. So again, kind of educating how to take advantage of those opportunities, kind of then transitioning more into the technology aspects. One of the key elements of a turnkey wireless network, you know, we provide that as the core, this mobile core, but we work with a lot of third-party partners to kind of build best-of-breed solutions for specific verticals or use cases. And again, we'll kind of talk about some of those partners, the advantages, our unique architecture around that element of the network. And then ultimately, another area where we have been growing our footprint is really with the tribal communities. Again, they're putting out and very forward-looking in certain cases with these fixed wireless networks and closing the digital divide, have a lot of opportunity for funding. So again, talking about how these networks kind of benefit this type of vertical or these types of communities as well. So again, trying to be out there on a monthly basis to kind of show you what's happening out there in the space, how these products and technologies and solutions are being applied in real world circumstances and solving real world problems and connecting communities. And again, I think part of the interaction as well with partners, with our customers, is we're always kind of interested in kind of getting real world feedback on other topics that may make sense to kind of share with the teams. Next slide. Okay.
Oh, this is Gerry again. I wanted to say to you, thank you for the time. We wanted to be efficient today. I think you'll see, seeing what we're focused on, and we're trying to grow our verticals, trying to help our partnerships, and we're doing that with new technologies. With the content and with webinars like this, it is our intent to have them interesting. We challenge you to join us, and then if you don't think they're interesting, please let us know. But if you do and you want more like them, please give us that feedback as well. So we're excited about where we are going as a North American group, and we're looking forward to pretty neat things with our partners and with our customers. So that's all we have for today before we do questions. Paula, I'll turn it over to you to do the questions.
Thank you for joining. Feel free to join our next upcoming webinar, and I hope everyone has a great day.